So right now it's crunch time because next week I have a real heavy hitter coming in. I think you guys might already know who that is and what we're doing on their car. You're just gonna have to stick around to find out. So today is a perfect day for me to get stuff done on Project Pepto.
And now, you're watching the channel that has the car that matches your girlfriend's nail polish channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
So what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. And before I start this video, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came up and talked to me at IBOC. That was a great time. I was planning on making a video for IBOC, but I had my daughter out there and that takes a whole bunch of work in itself, so I didn't actually film a video, but I had a great time saying what's up to each and every one of you guys that actually came and say what's up to me, and I appreciate that. So welcome back. I'm glad I saw you at IBOC, and let's get started with this video. So I want to tie up some loose ends on Project Pepto. As you can see already, I got the Integra seats put in there. And then something that was a problem as soon as I got the car running was the clutch pedal engagement was quite a bit off. So I want to get that addressed, figure out what's going on with that, and hopefully I can adjust it to actually work properly. So the reason why my clutch pedal needed to be adjusted is because it was really hard to get in gear, first of all, and also when it was in first gear and also reverse, meaning the gears that it's in when the car is completely stopped, the car still wanted to kind of shake and move backwards a little bit if it was in reverse, even if my clutch pedal was pushed all the way to the floor. Like I'm saying, if it was in reverse, it would kind of back up, and you can feel that there was some tension in that flywheel is still making contact with the clutch, meaning the clutch pedal isn't engaging like it should be. So that's why I had to go through, look at the clutch pedal and adjust it and get it figured out. So for those of you who do not know how to adjust a clutch pedal, and this is the same for a brake pedal or any hydraulic pedal in a car for that matter, I think it's just brake and clutch, I don't know what else would be hydraulic. Anyways, I kind of wanted to draw this out for you. Sorry if the drawing's a little funny, but hopefully you can get an idea and understand how exactly this works. So looking at the drawing from the top, we have the clutch master cylinder, which is this little reservoir, and those are my little waves right there. And then this little thing with the line, that's the firewall. And then on the inside of it, this rod is threaded, and that's what actually moves in and out. So when this rod is compressed, that actually forces fluid to go from your master cylinder right here, what I drew, and that forces fluid down to the slave cylinder. So that throw, there's something wrong with that. So the way that you can adjust it is if you take this little fork right here, where it's threaded, you got to actually separate this from the pedal. You got to pull out the little pin. There's a little cotter pin that's going to be in there. You got to get rid of that. And then what I actually had to do is I had to move my master cylinder closer into the engine bay because I couldn't get my brake pedal out of the way. There's just two 12mm bolts. Then I pushed that into the engine bay, and then I adjusted that little fork. You got to do it either in or out depending on if you want your little engagement point to be higher or lower. What I needed to do, my engagement point was non-existent, so my engagement point needed to come from non-existent and then up a little bit or off of the floor until I could eventually get it right. So that's how you adjust it, either forward or backwards, and then you put it all back together, and then you just adjusted your clutch pedal, and this is the same exact procedure for the brake pedal. Now I figured kind of drawing it out and explaining it that way would be a little bit better than me just putting the camera down at the floor where you can't see it all, because I really can't see what I'm doing when I'm down there. So how are you going to be able to see it? Now I want to actually make sure it's working, make sure everything's all good, get Pepto started, and hopefully it's not rolling at all as it's in reverse or first gear. Whew, man, now it's been a little while since old Pepto started, so hopefully she starts right up. Let's go, baby. Now I'm gonna put it in reverse, where before if I was in reverse and I had my foot all the way down. There we go, reverse, ready? Yeah, there we go. Man, got a little crazy, but it feels really good, so that's what matters. I had a nice, feel to it. Everything is good to go on that. And then also, something else that I addressed, the battery kept dying when I had an old Pepto over here, but that's because the brake lights were on constantly. And if you're familiar with Hondas and Acuras, you know they're notorious for there's like a little rubber nipple part on the brake light, and that actually activates the switch that goes to the brake switch that turns on the tail lights to come on when you hit your brake, because there's a little solenoid that pops out. If that little rubber nipple breaks off, and they just do from getting so old, that'll actually cause the tail lights to be on at all times, or the brake lights to be on at all times, and that'll kill the battery. So the next thing that I want to do, man, this video, honestly, I plan on rebuilding these wheels, putting them all the way back together, but that's not going to happen. I mean, as you can see, they look really good. So the bolts and nuts that I ordered, it was the exact same bolts and nuts that used to be in here, except they were chrome. See, I'll put a little picture right here. Man, those look good, and I'm excited to get those back on the car, but I'm not that excited because the bolts that I ordered, they're not quite long enough. So that's very unfortunate, because if they're not long enough, I'm not going to be able to put the wheels together. If I can't put the wheels together, I can't put the tires on the wheels. And with these tires, as you can see, these are all dry rotted and nasty. So I don't feel comfortable driving with the car on these tires, so I need to get brand new tires for the other wheels, and just stuff takes time. That's what happens when you're building a car, and right now I don't have too much going on, but that's just what happens, and that's just part of it. Man, I love driving on these back roads over here in Christmas, but this truck, man, it's ruining my nice view. So what I have going on, like I was saying earlier, at the end of this week, I'm gonna be working on something that's a little different. It's not the same thing that you've seen me work on before, but it's really cool and it's really different, and I think that you're gonna enjoy that. So make sure you stick around to see what's going on with that. And then next week is gonna be huge, man. I'm so excited for next week. It's something that I'm thinking about basically every day. I cannot wait to start working on these upcoming cars, and sorry if this video was a little bit short, but that's what I had going on. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, check out the merch, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out.